Hello, everybody. This is Mario. You may know me from Facebook page Chopper Show, number of different things that we do out there in the world, hosting motorcycle shows, Sturgis, and different things like that. And tonight, we're joining you. This is kind of a special, unique situation here. It's one of those situations where not all news is good news. And so I have my friend JC here. She's got an announcement for us that we want to bring to the world. And JC, you've got somebody there with you too. So you want to tell us who's with you?
Yeah, in this room right here, right now with me, I have probably one of the most important people in the industry's daughters, about ready to deliver some major news to the industry and to the entire history of the chopper world. The reason we're presenting this tonight and presenting it to go through you and your network is that, you do a lot with the chopper industry, and you've always, even out of your own pocket, have taken the time and love and industry for it. So who I'm going to be introducing you guys to tonight is the daughter of CJ Allan in the motorcycle industry. Her name is Jenna Allan Kingans, and I'm going to go ahead and bring her on here right now, and she has some news to present to the world. Okay. Thank you, JC.
Good evening, Jenna. How are you?
I'm good. My name is Jenna, and I am the daughter of CJ. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, I suppose, but yesterday morning we lost a very important person. My dad passed away at about 8:53 yesterday morning. He had been very sick for quite a few days. He was fighting pneumonia. He was fighting sepsis. He had a severe UTI, and his body couldn't fight so many infections at one time. I know that it's a major loss to the industry, and so many people loved him. So many people looked up to him for mentorship and so many things. But I lost my dad yesterday, and I thought that it would be best, and I thought it would best suit him and respect him and honor his legacy to make a public announcement for everybody, rather than, of course, the people that were closest to us were individually involved. And there were a few people that stayed with me at the hospital with him. JC, one of them, she has been one of my biggest support systems in all of this. And I'm blessed to have her with me.
I can tell you, for the motorcycle world, this is a great loss. And, there's, you can hardly look at any engraving on a motorcycle, and obviously he engraved on many other mediums as well, but you saw his work everywhere. And I was a couple of years ago, I was at Mecum, and they had the Chain of Mystery bike there, Indian Larry's bike, and going down on the floor there at the casino there in Vegas, people were, looking at the bike, and they were awed by the bike. But what they're most awed about was the engravings. And, I know we've got some pictures you guys shared with us as well of some of those engravings of the Chain of Mystery bike. And
that's actually in Larry's urn too.
Yeah, that's Larry's urn, and then we've got a picture there of your dad years ago and stuff. That picture there on the left hand side. So you can see the bike there, and part of the bike. And there's I believe a few more pictures we have of the bike there. And look at that carburetor work, and it was just absolutely magnificent.
Right here. Look at that, right behind you.
Yeah, that was just absolutely magnificent.
You see that? Right there, Mario's petting it for you, Mario.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. So, CJ was known as the father. He was the father of modern motorcycle engraving, and I think what a lot of people maybe don't realize is that, JC, you're a perfect example. You were learning engraving from CJ,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, he's an
you know,
excellent teacher too.
right,
Don't fall asleep and try to engrave a tree while he's sleeping though. He will
right.
yell at you when he wakes up.
That's awesome.
He
And
likes to sleep.
but he was such a great mentor. I mean, and he mentored so many. And there's, let's talk about some of the people out there, that have a direct connection that learned their craft from CJ, because I mean, that's an incredible thing that he's been able to pass along to others. Besides JC, I mean, who's some of the other people out there that comes to mind that he influenced?
One of his star students is Neil Merchant in Australia. He's in New South Wales. He comes over here once a year and spends,
I like
a few weeks with us. And I mean, he took the class years ago, but he's become a very close friend of ours. Let's see. One of our recent students was Robert Scarpati. He has a tattoo shop in New York. He's really taken to it. Joshua Stronks, he's in Los Angeles. He not only did he take the class, but Dad had a medical issue at that time too, and ended up in the hospital. And I actually finished teaching the class for him, bless his heart. But he stayed. I mean, as everyone knows, the classes are only 3 days, but Josh ended up staying like 2 weeks to help us out with Dad and take care of the house and the dogs. And I mean, we have so many students that we've had over the years, and I mean, every one of them took the engraving in their own directions and did their own thing with it. I mean, but Dad was always very very persistent in the fact that, like, I can teach you these things. Like, it's not hard. Anybody can do it. And you can do whatever you want with it. Like, it's a motorcycle engraving class, but just make cool things. That was Dad's biggest thing he would try and teach him, is like, make cool things, do art.
Yeah, let's see that right there, JC. That's pretty
Here you
slick.
go.
So yeah, I mean, that's just incredible work. And now, one thing that about your dad, is that he I've seen some of the like illustrations like he would do before he started the engraving. So kind of tell us about his process, because, he was a master. And I think, knowing a little bit about his process and the way he did things is pretty remarkable as well.
The process of engraving?
Engraving, and, like he would do illustrations, to working out
Yeah.
his idea and his thoughts.
I mean, the process of engraving, it's a lot. It's very similar to how you would do a tattoo. Of course, there's no needle, but as far as you don't have to know how to draw per se. I mean, if you want your own custom things, so of course drawing helps. But I mean, as long as you can take whatever image you want, print it out. I mean, you reverse the image, you print it out, you wet it onto the metal, and it sticks off kind of like how a tattoo stays on, and there's your design, and you just get to cutting after that. A lot of the stuff that Dad did, because we didn't always have computers and printers, but so
Right.
obviously a lot of his early stuff was drawn. Draw it on there with a Sharpie or
Yeah,
a
and I've seen pictures of that stuff, and that's really, I've always been really impressed by the process of individuals and stuff. And your dad had he had a process, and he had vision. And I think that's something for somebody like me who I think lacks vision and those sort of things, to see those people that have vision and actually bring it to fruition like that. It's just always been amazing to me. So I'm kind of curious, how do you think your father is going to be remembered by this industry?
Well, where do I start? I mean, he did so many different things. Of course, he's got his engraving, but I mean, he started out pinstriping. He started out hanging out at the old Barris shop, and I mean, once he got into pinstriping, that kind of paved the way into other things. He'd only been engraving for the last, what, 50 years, I suppose. It was, maybe like right before I was born.
Yeah, and even before pinstriping, he worked with Ed Roth doing airbrushing.
Yeah. I mean, he has so many contributions in so many different areas.
Absolutely. And I was going to kind of ask you about that. I'm glad you brought that up because, I'm kind of curious, I bring up the Chain of Mystery bike, but, how do you think your dad would like to be remembered? If his work, what type of body of work would he like to be known for?
I know, right there. She's got the legacy behind her. Actually, right. Me and CJ were in the basement and we were taking pictures back in November of him putting this bike together. Okay. And so I have every picture of every piece where he wanted it on this bike before it was finished. It was just car getting up and down the steps. So his legacy is sitting behind here, but she's got to finish it.
So we have his in progress. It's been in progress for a few years now. It's a shovel head, and it's going to have parts and pieces on it from people from throughout his life that to contribute to have a hand in this build. The paint that he wanted, we were going to find an airbrush artist that can do realistic portraits and stuff, but he wanted this bike to be his life, like the story of his life. And I think that incorporating all the different fabricators and everybody that he was close to contribute to this will be a great legacy to him. This bike is his original motor. In engraving on it, I mean, from wheel to wheel, like this bike will be his legacy.
I can't wait to see when it's finished and when you get it all done. So maybe when you get that thing done, we can get that up to Sturgis and you can bring it out to the Schools Out Chopper show at the Buffalo Chip because I'd love to have it there. I know Mondo and a few other people joined me there, and I know they would love to see that bike there as well. So
right. I think what's going to neat is I put Mondo on the phone with CJ Allan last year at I was at I think we're down at the Steel Pony, and there was a show going on, and I said, well, CJ said he was going to talk to you, and Mondo goes, let me talk to him. I'm on the phone. They were talking about possibly even doing some engraving on that Indian bike he just did, that pretty light blue and white one that Mondo just did.
Yeah.
And then he went
he did for
it,
Kelly. We had that at Sturgis this year and stuff. That was beautiful. A beautiful
I
bike.
remember seeing that bike. I was so tickled to see that bike come out.
Yeah, that won our virtual bike show there on the Chopper show this year. So that was an amazing bike and stuff like that. So, but Mondo's always got projects in the works. But I know that Mondo, will be somebody can work with us on maybe getting some paint on there and getting the right people identified. So, but there's going to be a lot of people I'm sure that are going to want to be a part of this because there's nothing to me that's more prophetic than a rolling piece of art, based
we're gonna
off
try
of
and find
what was his life.
Oh, sorry. We're gonna try and find as many pieces that he has engraved, like his. We have his original, his battery casing.
That's incredible.
But as far as any other, there's not going to be a blank space left on this bike. I'm probably going to do as much engraving on it as I can.
And she's pretty good too. Yeah, she's really good.
Oh, I believe it. I mean, it's it's in the blood, right?
Yeah.
It's all in the wrist.
Well, that too. All right. So, so let me, he was your dad, and I kind of like, I think it's really important that people know, they know the engraver, they know the artist, but being your father, can you tell us, the ways he's impacted your life and how integral he's been? Because I know he was a family man. I know that you, his friends, the people around him were very, very important to him. And I kind of like to, hear from in your own words how deeply he's impacted your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually, I guess, relieved, glad that you asked in that way, because growing up and meeting so many different people, the question was always, what's it like being the daughter of CJ, or what's it like being raised by CJ? And it was my answer was, oh, I don't know. I wasn't raised by CJ. I was raised by my dad. Like he as much traveling and as many people as we came in contact to, he tried very hard to keep the two worlds separate. Like don't mix business with family. But my dad, as my dad, was he was very strict. There was a lot of things I wasn't allowed to do, and of course, as a teenage girl, I hated it. But it definitely made me the woman that I am today. Yeah, he was very strict. I didn't have a cell phone until I was already married.
Oh,
But
boy.
he taught me everything that I know, not everything he knows, not everything he knows. But I get the biggest one was on repeat. It was pay attention, be aware of your surroundings. He taught me how to read the room, taught me how to read people, taught me how to read body language, taught me how to mentally just protect myself from my surroundings. And I think that really definitely helped me later in life as an adult out on my own, and going to some of the places that women probably shouldn't go. He taught me how to be a better mother to my girls. He taught me how to be a better wife to my husband. Taught me how to be a lady. Taught me how to act, period. I mean, just there's things you do and there's things you don't do, and it's best to know the difference. There's a lot of kids, there's kids, like I'm still a kid. There's a lot of parents that, they have children, but they're not parents. They don't raise their kids. My dad raised me, and he was a parent. He was not my friend until I was like almost 27. Like he was not my friend. That wasn't his job to be my friend.
I came around that time.
Yeah.
I can vouch for that. Him and her, I was like, I always got to play the mediator. It was fun.
Yeah.
He would yell and I would say, CJ, now be nice. So he would yell at her and I'd yell at him, and then he'd yell at me for yelling at her to yell.
Oh,
it was good though.
We fought tooth and nail all the
But
time.
not in the, like the last few years though, it was love. It was a lot of love. I've seen a lot of love over the last few years.
Yeah, we fought tooth and nail. I mean, he and I were the same person. We have the same personality. It's hard to deal with your kids when it's a mini version of you, and that's exactly what I was. I was like, this monster that I created, but it's my monster.
Well, Jenna, and here in saying that, I learned something a long time ago. I lost my mom when I was young, and I've always wanted to keep her spirit alive. And I realized early on that those best things about her I had to emulate, and that would keep her spirit alive. And you're already doing that. And I commend you, and I commend your dad for being a father and being a dad, because that's what you needed. And the fact is, his words, the fact that he was there to be your father and not your friend. These are discussions I had with my own daughter, my own children. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to be your father. So that's a big lesson for all of us. I'm at a loss for words, for the motorcycle community, but most of all, I'm at a loss of words for your family. JC, for you, because I know you and CJ became very close over the last couple of years and stuff like that, and I know you had the most respect for him. The only thing I can say is that we want to honor his life, we want to honor his legacy, because that's what he deserves. He worked too hard, too long in this industry to be thought of anything less than a master engraver and a teacher to all of us. And I, I just want you to know that we have the utmost respect for him. I do, and I think I'm speaking for the motorcycle world as well. Is there anything, in telling the rest of the world out there, that you think we need to pass on? JC, I'm going to start with you because I know you two became closer the last few years.
Just going into it, speaking a little bit about CJ in general. CJ and me kind of like really bonded after filming in the Rough Boys movie, which actually, if you guys want to see some of his performance, that will be coming out on DVD very quickly. I'm not trying to plug that by no means, but
it's okay.
CJ,
We can do that.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay. All right. Everybody go buy a DVD. Rough Boys movie. No, just kidding. Well, you would love it anyways because you get to watch it, Matt. But CJ was in everything from Discovery Channel to documentaries to books, magazines, Easy Rider, Sure Cycle, everything you can imagine. Yeah. CJ was in it. With all the publications and everything that existed while he was in life, that was under CJ's life as it was. And because, unfortunately, in this industry, in which we all are, we foreseen some things come from our friends in the passing, that where it took away from the family and the value of the family, and sometimes demeaned and sometimes didn't demean. So for the protection of the family, she has asked for all publications and everything that would go forth from here to come through her name.
Yes.
And ask for rights and whatever so forth with it through the family, which is respectful to ask.
I would agree 100%.
The reason that we've approached Mario today is because I believe that Mario believes in the same vision I do with the industry, with the motorcycle industry. Anybody that knows me, I go out there, I kick ass and take names. I pretty much do everything I can for the motorcycle industry, and a lot of the times I do it on my own dime. I go around from fixing bikes for everybody, putting bikes back in the races, like even like Sons of Speed. I put a 1928 JD Harley back in the race and stuff like that. CJ loved me and admirated me because it wasn't about the greed. It wasn't about what you can do. It was about the love and the passion for motorcycles. And me and CJ had this conversation over and over and over again, and has his wishes as in passing, just as his wishes for his daughter. Just respect for the family and respect in what you say. They do want you to be able to comment and stuff like that on their pages and stuff like that. They want you to be able to mourn the loss because we're all mourning the loss. We've spent the last week not knowing what day, what hour, what given second we had with him, but we were able to see him out of this world with him respectfully. We were with him, and there was no pain, and it went in peace. And that's one of the things looking at this now is we've had a day to kind of go through the grieving process, but the world is going to find out, and you have to be with the world or you have to be behind the world. And we decided by presenting this tonight this way, the world could understand where we're coming from, understand that the family does have a grieving process. We're in the first stages of grief. You guys understand that? That's denial. We're not fully there on that moment yet, but it's going to hit us over the next few days, just like it'll hit the world like a shockwave. So just be respectful with the family and the words, I think, is just a common sense thing.
Yeah.
But rather than that, I really appreciate you, Mario, for giving us this opportunity to use you as a media source here tonight.
Very much so.
And being able to mediate this to the world, that we just lost one of the probably most prolific people, not only in the industry, but MC industry, or peacekeeper, for world giver, for hate keeper, whatever you want to call him at the day in the moment. He was able to kick ass and take names. And yes, he was my mentor. And yes, I am proud of everything he taught me, and I will continue to use everything he taught to probably till I die. So I'm going to give it back to her to close out. Is there anything else you want to say, Mario?
Yeah.
Thanks, JC.
Like JC said, we look forward to all of the publications and stuff that people are no doubt going to want to write and produce and create content with. We just ask that you do it the right way and contact me personally, so that, we can do this together, that there's nothing being said that doesn't fall out of line, but we can cross those bridges when we get to them. Mario,
Absolutely.
I very much appreciate the opportunity to use this platform with you to announce the passing of my dad. I wasn't really sure at first how I was going to do this because, I mean, how do I reach everyone that Dad touched? You know, like there's just thousands of them. And
We became overwhelmed in the
Yeah.
few hours that just his brothers got to find out of his
Yeah.
passing. So we decided as a joint thing, you know, it would just be easier for her to release this information in whole through one stream and just be
Yeah.
able to let the writings pour in. If you guys want to leave like memorial notes or pictures or anything like
Yeah.
that, you can go to CJ Allan's engraving page, or you can go to Jenna Allan Kingings on her thing, leave stuff. You can also leave stuff at JC Guns if you want, and I'll push it over to her. Whatever you want to do, preferably all memorial and stuff like that, go to her. But if you want condolences, I mean, I understand in writing. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, I want to, Jen, I just want to tell you, you know, that my heart, my prayers are with you and yours during this time. We know this is not going to be easy, no, but I want you to know there's a lot of love for your family, for you, and for your fathers. And you know, we're sorry for your loss, and you know, let's do this right. Let's honor your father the way he deserved to be honored, and your family deserves to be honored. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
That means a lot.
Thank you, everybody, and I appreciate everybody that's going to view this, and I hope that you'll share it and let everybody know, you know, that we lost a legend. We lost somebody very special to the motorcycle community, but somebody to the world as well. All right.
You know,
Thanks, ladies.
one thing
What's
I
that?
gotta add, one more quick thing. The one and only thing I say CJ totally taught me over and over and over again was learn something new every day.
Every day.
Every day. So I think that's a great way to end it. So learn something new every day, folks. All right. Well, thank you. Have a wonderful evening, best you can, and we'll be talking. Okay.
All right. Thank you,
All right.
Mario.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Mario.